Hey guys, Basement Breakdown here. Before I start my prediction video, I just wanted to talk about a couple fight announcements. Undefeated Lerone Murphy takes on Aaron Pico in a short notice matchup. Aaron Pico was supposed to fight Movsar Evloev, and Lerone Murphy's coming off of a unanimous decision win against Josh Emmett. Let's go, guys. For the next fight announcement, Carlos Ulberg will be taking on Dominic the Dominatrix Reyes. This will be a UFC fight night in Perth, September 27th. Carlos Ulberg's coming off of that win against Jan Blachowicz, little controversial, and Dominic Reyes picked up his third win in a row against Nikita Krylov recently. What do you guys think about this matchup? For another piece of information, guys, yeah, Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez per Turk Al Sheikh is going to be a 3-day long event. That's pretty crazy. And yeah, what do you guys think about that? All right, guys, let's get down to brass tacks. I introduce you to this weekend's fight night, Taisura Taira versus Park Hyung Sung. Was supposed to be Taisura Taira versus Amir Albazi, but I think this is a little bit more fun. But overall, guys, yeah, let's get into it.
We've added a DSP, and then we.
One more thing before we start, guys. I wanted to say thank you for 2,500 subscribers. It really means a lot to me. And it also means a lot to Taitsuro Taira. So he wants to thank you as well.
I'm happy, thank you!
Hey guys, Basement Breakdown here. This is the card of all cards, which is why we're doing it in the comfortability of the Apex. What a lovely background. Yeah, well, we're gonna break down this card. It has some fights on it with some women and some men who are unranked, besides the main event, I believe. Being Taiso Taira versus Park Hyun Sung. Park steps in for Amir Albazi, who is out via injury. I think this fight is more fun than Taiso Taira versus Amir Albazi. You can let me know what you guys think. I think it's a better scrap. But let's get into the card and give our predictions. Breaking down each fight and giving our predictions. As always, what a lovely card, guys. Christmas has come early. Yeah. All right, Caitlin Souza goes up against Piera Rodriguez. I do think that Piera Rodriguez is favored in this fight for a reason. Her win against Josephine Knudsen is impressive, which is her most recent win. Josephine was on a, I believe, 4-fight win streak up until she ran into Piera. Before that, she did get disqualified against Ariane Carnosi, which was kind of stupid, but Piera really hurt Ariane, and she could have won that fight if her fight IQ was a little better. She's probably learned from that. Her only loss in the UFC comes via submission to Jillian Robertson, who's built somewhat of a streak of her own as of late, so no shame in that. Caitlin Souza, she lost to split decision to Angela Hill her last time out. Before that, she beat Yasmin Uruguay at UFC 306, and she's beat Marnik Mann. I think this will be a... I do think Piera Rodriguez will win this fight via decision. Maybe it'll be fun. Maybe it won't. But we're going to go with Piera Rodriguez winning a unanimous decision over Caitlin Souza. I'm tired. Set myself up for the card a little. Kind of fat, guys. My face looks kind of swollen, but I got my competition on Saturday, so I get to come home, get drunk, and then watch this. And then the next day, head up to my cottage. What a treat. Yeah, hopefully we do well in our bets. But Rafael Estevan goes up against Felipe Bunes in the flyweight division. Rafael is undefeated. His most recent win comes against Jesus Aguilar. Before that, he beat Charles Johnson, which is a win I rate. He was supposed to fight Zaglis Zumagulov, who I think is holding a belt in another federation. He's very handsome, for the people who don't know who that is. Very good-looking guy. Next, what else do I have to say? Yeah, Felipe Bunes, I think he's on he's lost to Yeah, Jose Johnson, most recently. Before that, Joshua Vanny got TKO'd by. I feel like Rafael will be able to get this done sometime early. I feel like I'm probably going to take him by a first round knockout. I mean, the potential of a decision is there, but I think Rafael is probably going to show his. Let's hope that he shows his ability to knock the man out, because we're taking him by first round KO. I think he's gonna be too much for Felipe Boons. We move up the card, guys. All right, Austin Bashi takes on John Yanis, late notice. John has no profile picture, like, when you start your Wii character. I don't know. Yeah, he is yet to be unlocked. Austin Bashi, his most recent fight in the UFC, I think his first fight in the UFC, yeah, he lost to Christian Rodriguez via unanimous decision. No shame in that. I think he came to the UFC via, was it the Dana White's Contender Series, perhaps? Regardless, he did lose his first fight in the UFC. But before that, he was undefeated. John Yanis, I think, comes from like Fury FC or Brave FC or one of those federations. This is very late notice. I think Austin Bashi will be able to get this done, if not by a unanimous decision. I see a submission. So we're going to go with a first round submission from Austin Bashi. We move up the card. I think he'll finish the fight pretty early. Nick Klein goes up against Andre Pulmiev. I also just want to quickly go over the odds. Pierre Rodriguez is favored in her fight. Obviously, Rafael is a big favorite in his fight. The odds for Austin and the no profile picture John Yanis have not come out yet. And this brings us to Nick Klein versus Andre Puliev. Andre Puliev is the slight favorite over Nick Klein. Nick Klein is slightly older. He's slightly deficient in the reach, and he is slightly shorter. Let's take a look at these guys' records quickly. I am somewhat familiar, but let me just take a little peek. All right, yeah, so I picked Christian Leroy Duncan last time out against Andre Puliev, and before that, Andre on the Dana White's Contender Series beat Liam Anderson, and he goes up against Nick Klein. Nick Klein fought Mansour Abdul-Malik his last time out, and I know he did get knocked out, but I mean, I know he did get knocked out in his last fight, but Mansour Abdul-Malik, I feel like, is a better opponent than Christian Leroy Duncan. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm going with Nick Klein. I'm going with Nick Klein to knock out Andre Puliev. I could see perhaps maybe some takedowns, but if Nick Klein's able to, I don't know, I feel like Nick Klein's a good underdog to take. So I'm going to go with a Nick Klein KO of Andre Puliev. Woo! Risky pick, maybe? I don't know. We move up the card. Rodolfo Vieira goes up against Rashawn Gore. I do not trust Rashawn Gore. He's lost quite a few fights in the UFC. Rodolfo Vieira is going to be my pick, but I'm going to also explain, obviously, why that is the case. Oh, this fight is so boring. I mean, this card's kind of boring, guys. It's just putting me to sleep a little bit. All right. Rashawn Gore is a little younger, but he has lost quite a few fights in the UFC. Yeah, his record's 6-3. He lost to Marco Tulio last time out, where he got pretty badly knocked out. Before that, he beat Antonio Tricoli. Before that, he beat Josh Fremd. He lost to Cody Brundage. He's lost to Brian Battle. Brian Battle and Cody Brundage aren't bad opponents. Brian Battle, I think, most recently fought Randy Brown in a fight where, you could argue he lost. I think he's fighting, is it Ruzabayev next or something? Whatever. That doesn't matter. Cody Brundage, he got his fight with Mansour Abdul-Malik turned over to a no contest. But, Trishan got knocked out by him. Beat Josh Fremd, then Antonio Tricoli, then lost to Marco Tulio. And now he's going to get knocked out by Yeah, he's going to get knocked out by Rodolfo Vieira. There's no way. I don't trust him. Rodolfo Vieira has knocked out Cody Brundage. No, sorry. He submitted Cody Brundage. He submitted Armand Petrosian. Yeah. If he doesn't beat Trishan Gore, yeah, he's going to either submit him. You know what? We're going to go with either a submission or a unanimous decision from Rodolfo Vieira. I don't see it going another way. I'm sorry, Trishan. We move up the card. Rinya Nakamura goes up against Nathan Fletcher. The odds say Rinya Nakamura is almost minus 500 favorite, which is quite a lot, to be fair. Nathan Fletcher, I thought, looked pretty good in his last fight. I think you can argue that he may have won his last fight. I maybe am a little biased because I bet on it, but like I thought his last fight versus Callan Loran was very close. I thought it's a bit of I thought it was a bit of a robbery at the time. I think watching it, I thought Nathan Fletcher won his fight. But before that, he beat Zigomantis Ramoska, where he won via submission, and he goes up against Rinya Nakamura. Nakamura took his first loss to Mian Gufarov his last time out, where he lost a unanimous decision to a guy, who doesn't have really that many wins in the UFC. He has more losses than wins, being to Said Nurmagomedov, John Castanda. He has wins against Kyung Ho Kang and then Rinya Nakamura. So I don't know if he just got fraud checked, because he has wins against, he beat Carlos Vera, Fernie Garcia. It was kind of shit. Oh, it's kind of tough. I feel like I trust Nakamura to get it done, but I feel like Nathan Fletcher might be a good underdog pick for some of you guys. I don't know. Maybe he can pick a round off of Nakamura. I feel like Nathan Fletcher has... I don't know. I feel like it'll be a good fight. I think it'll be a 29-28 decision win for Nakamura over Nathan Fletcher. We move up the card. That was the feature fight of the prelims. All right, so our next fight is Danny Silva versus Kevin Vallejos. This is a good fight. I think Danny Silva is undefeated in the UFC. That's fun. Yeah, he is undefeated with two fights in the UFC, one outside of the UFC in the Dana White's Contender Series. He beat Lucas Almeida, which is a good win, his last time out. Then he beat Josh Culebio via split decision before that. I rate the Lucas Almeida win. Josh has fought some good guys, being Lerone Murphy. I feel like when I reference Kevin Vallejos, or just like when I think about him as a fighter, I think about that fight that he had with Gene Silva in the Dana White's Contender Series. Which is aged so well. Kevin Vallejos is going to beat Danny Silva by TKO. Gene Silva style. Yeah, I think we're going to go with Kevin Vallejos. He is deficient in the height. He's got a pretty good reach for his 68-inch reach to Danny Silva's 70-inch reach. Being the smaller guy, I think he's gonna chin Danny Silva. We're gonna go with Kevin Vallejos. We move up. Neil Magny, he's had a rough go as of late. He's been put up against Carlos Praches, Michael Morales. Like, it's tough to see, because I remember a time when Neil Magny, I'd look up and I'd see that Neil Magny record. I think he has some of the most wins in his division, in the welterweight division. Like, Neil Magny's been around for a while. He's been he's been a gatekeeper of sorts as of late, but he's been a gatekeeper for like some of the top guys. Like, I don't know. Like, Neil Magny has really, as I said, had a rough go as of late. yeah, Michael Morales, Carlos Proches, like these guys just knock him out back to back. He was losing in that Mike Malott fight until he wasn't, and came back in the third round, and then KO'd Mike Malott, the Canadian. Nah. But before that, he lost to Ian Gary. He beat Philip Rowe via split decision, and then he lost to Gilbert Burns before that. I feel like, yeah, he is fighting Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos, and I don't know why I picked dos Santos against Chidi and Jaquani last time out. If you go back, no need to talk about that. Elizeu, though, he has a draw with Randy Brown. He lost a unanimous decision to. Then he beat Zachary Scrogan. And then he lost to Chidi and Jaquani via knockout. I want to pick Neil Magny. I worry, though. I know he's got the height advantage. I feel like maybe there's some money in like a Neil Magny submission, like one of those vintage performances. Now, granted, you're not putting him up against an up-and-coming prospect. You're putting him up against Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos. And I'm not talking shit, like he's a good fighter, but like, you're giving him a bit of a fucking break from what he's been used to. Just fighting top contenders, especially being like out of the top 10 and like where he was ranked at the time. I just don't yeah, I feel bad for the guy a little bit. I love Neil Magny. I think Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos is either going to win a decision or he's going to chin Neil Magny. I see potential, maybe, as I said, in a Neil Magny submission or maybe even a decision. But I got to go with dos Santos over Neil Magny. That's just the way I see it. I think he's slightly favored in the fight, which makes a little bit of sense to me. We move up. Esteban Ribovics goes up against Elv Brenner. Esteban's last time out, I think he fought Nasrat Haqparast in a fight where I thought he won that fight. I thought it was a very entertaining fight. I thought Nasrat took a lot of damage to his eye, which looked pretty bad to the judges. I thought that Esteban won rounds 2 and 3, I believe. It was a very good fight. Esteban's a very entertaining fighter. I remember him knocking out Terrence McKinney. That fight with Daniel Zellhuber at the Sphere was epic. I think it won like Fight of the Year. But yeah, Elvis Brenner, has he lost his last 2 fights? I think he has. Yeah, Elvis Brenner's lost to Joel Alvarez and Maitek Orablai his last time out. These are both talented fighters, no doubt about it, but so is Esteban Ribovics. I think that he's a heavy favorite on this card, and that's a reason. Like, this is a heavy favorite. Like, there's not too many heavy favorites on the card, but yeah, I think Ribovics he's a minus 260, which isn't that crazy. 29-28. Hopefully they don't rob Esteban this time against another like older dude. I would be very upset to see that. But Nasrat Haqparast not even old. But regardless, I hope they don't rob Esteban. I think he will win this fight via unanimous decision. I really do enjoy watching him fight. And we move up the card. God, this is so fun, guys. Are you not excited for this fight night? I don't know if that was... Yeah, okay. Mateusz Rebecki goes up against Chris Duncan. I do like Chris Duncan a lot. I took him his last time out, and I'm thinking about taking him again. His last time out against Jordan Vukovic. I'm not sure if he's still in the UFC. Before that, Chris Duncan fought below J.O.K. He did get submitted by Manuel Torres, but he has wins against Yanela Schmooze, Omar Morales, and Charlie Campbell. I think he fought in like the like Cage Warriors and stuff, and he's got like a bunch of submission highlights, which are pretty fun to watch. Chris Duncan, the problem is a problem. Mateusz Rebecki is favorited in this fight, minus 200. I'm taking Chris Duncan in this fight. Mateusz Rebecki's lost to Diego Ferreira. He had a close fight with Maitek Orablai where he really badly hurt Maitek, and like I think he had like a fractured like orbital, and like he looked really hurt in that fight. But Yeah, I'm gonna go with Christian Duncan as an underdog to beat Mateusz Rebecki by submission. Let's go. All right. So this brings us to the main event: Taira Taira versus Park Hyun Sung. This is gonna be a fun fight. Carlos Hernandez fought Park last time out, where he got submitted by a rear naked choke. Okay, so Park got to the UFC via road to the UFC, and then his first fight was against Soin Gak Choi. And then he fought Shannon Ross, doesn't want to fight in the UFC. And then Carlos Hernandez, who fought Taira Taira and got knocked out. However, though, I do think this is going to be a fun fight. Like, I think they're going to stand and bang for a while. I'm going to go with Taira to either win I'm going to go with a knockout from Taira in the second round. Or he'll win a decision, but my bet will be a knockout. I think they're going to stand and bang. Like, I think it's going to be fun. I'm way happier with this than I am, like, him fighting Amir Albazi. This is a much more fun matchup. I think Amir fought Brandon Moreno his last time out, where he got picked apart. Regardless, Amir Albazi is a good fighter. It's nothing that, but it's like, I think that this is going to result in a knockout. Like, I think someone's getting knocked out, someone's getting finished. This won't go to a decision. I'd be very surprised if it does. And I'm going with a Tatsuro Taira knockout in the second round. Thank you guys so much for watching. It is very late, but I intend to get this video out tonight. Let's go. Basement Breakdown out.
Thank you, new fans. I'm here to win the UFC title belt. New wave will be shit soon. Thank you very much.